decided he would protest in the most grotesque way possible and light himself on fire. That's a one-shot deal, bud. Like, you do that and that's it. I mean, it's a pretty heavy protest, but there's no follow-up. Because this guy no alive no more. So, let me read this article. This is CNN Politics. This is the garbage of the garbage. I figured, if you're going to talk about somebody setting himself on fire, we'll use the dumpster fire of media outlets to read the story about it. So here we go. U.S. airman dies after setting himself on fire outside Israeli embassy in Washington. An active duty member of the U.S. Air Force who set himself on fire outside the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. on Sunday has died, authorities said. Aaron Bushnell, 25, of San Antonio, Texas, said in a video of the incident obtained by CNN that he would no longer be complicit in genocide and that his suffering was minimal compared to that of Palestinians as the humanitarian crisis persists in Gaza. Listen, I'm going to stop right there for a second. I'm not without absolute sympathy for anybody that is being displaced, being negatively affected in any way, in all spectrums of it, in that region. On both sides, obviously, right? Because, in this case, right now, as we currently stand, it's going to be heavily on the Palestinian side. But having said that, something has to be done to end. You can't just allow rockets to be thrown over into your country like crazy. So Hamas has got to be put down. So I sympathize with this guy's moral feeling, or whatever I don't even know what you'd call this, because it's just so extreme. But his need to do something about it in the most, I don't know. I mean, like, shocking way, I guess. It's just, what do you do it once? And what do you think that's going to accomplish? You think they're just going to suddenly go, okay, well, this guy burned himself. We're done. No more. We're done with all this. Come on, man. This is mental illness. This is somebody that was obviously a little disturbed, or a lot disturbed, and decided to do this. Let me continue reading on here. He then sets the recording device on the ground before pouring an unknown liquid over himself and igniting it while yelling "Free Palestine" repeatedly. He eventually collapses as police officers rush to douse the flames with fire extinguishers. Now, imagine if this guy lived. You don't want to live after that. That's horrendous. Luckily for him, he did not survive this, because that would have been a rough existence for a while. He was subsequently transported by DC Fire and Emergency Services to a local hospital where he died. The Metropolitan Police Department said in a statement, local police are working with the U.S. Secret Service and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives to investigate the incident. I'm not sure why they're involved, because it doesn't say anything about fire in there. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. And someone set themselves on fire, in parentheses. Bushnell's identity was confirmed by MPD, and Rose Riley, a spokesperson for the U.S. Air Force, said he was an active duty airman. Additional details will be provided after next of kin notifications are completed, the Air Force said. I wonder if he had a history of mental illness or something like that. It's kind of weird, though, because he was an airman, and usually I think they're pretty stringent on that. Can't have guys up there flying big buckets of killing machines and having crazy heads, right? So in December, a person set themselves on fire outside the Israeli consulate in Atlanta in what police said was likely an extreme act of political protest. So somebody started this, and now this guy jumped in. He jumped on the bandwagon of it. Hope this is not going to be a trend. Palestinian flag that was part of the protest was recovered at the scene, and gasoline was used as an accelerant. Police and fire officials told reporters at a news conference. Israel is waging war against Hamas in Gaza after the group's October 7th terrorist attacks that killed 1,200 people in Israel, according to Israeli authorities. The response has killed nearly 30,000 people in Gaza, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. So there you go. So they say it right there. Kudos, CNN Politics. You at least are being in your weird narrative scripting. You're actually saying some of the truth out loud there. That last sentence right there. According to the Hamas-run health ministry. Meaning, you can't just believe that number just wholeheartedly like that. Can't just take it like that on face value. They have a narrative push as well. I'm not saying that there haven't been a lot of casualties, but the exaggeration is the point. They exaggerate like that for effect. Just like this guy exaggerated his protest. Ugh, ugly stuff. Hopefully it's not a trend.